Hi, Anita. How are you?
Hello, Arthur. How you doing?
Not too bad. Do you mind sharing with our audiences a bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Anita Van Ruyen. I'm a confidence coach and a human behavior expert, which basically means I help people understand the weird stuff that they do so that they can do things differently if they choose to.
That's fantastic. And how did you meet Arthur, the Chatty curator?
I met you at an international student event that was organised by Vic Wise. I was there talking about how to network, how to start the process of creating networks, and how that can then also merge into that really challenging space sometimes of how to make friends.
It is. It is. I think one of the biggest challenge is I work in social media, but then at the same time that it looks so easy, but then making friends is another question. You might have thousands of people connected to you or liking your photos on Instagram, but then if you're not actually communicating with other people with confidence and with personality, if you may, then I'm just gonna give you a strange question to just kind of like throw
Okay.
you off the balance a little bit. Now, in a parallel universe where you're doing something completely different, what do you think you'll be?
Oh, look, I always wanted to be a florist.
Oh,
From when I was a kid, yeah. Like when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a florist. Even like at the end of high school, I had no desire to go to university. I went and did like a floristry course and I loved it. And then it was like Australia fell into recession, and that was kind of, flowers is a luxury item. And so I found myself just in a different path. But I think in a parallel universe, like I still go into a florist shop and that smell just makes me like so happy, like insanely happy, just the smell of a florist shop. So I think in a parallel universe, I would still be using my creativity um, and working with flowers that are beautiful. And look, I think, people, we are all incredibly creative, but we put limits on ourselves, like for our creativity and for, I mean, a whole lot of different things. But I think we limit ourselves in how creative we think we can be, because creativity is a part of a process of trying, messing it up, trying again, messing it up. The same as cooking. Cooking is a very creative thing. You try something and you work out, well, okay, that combination of that flavor and that flavor really didn't work, but then the next time you try something else and it's amazing. And I think, as society, we've got very, very frightened of the F bomb, like the real F bomb, failure.
failure.
And like,
It's strange, isn't it? It's a little bit like it's almost like I think in many ways that we need to be a society that celebrates failure. Not like yay you fail, like I mean, not like not like that.
but you know what? I think even if we did do that, like how joyful would the world be?
Well, I mean,
If you messed up really bad and there was just this whole cheer squad going, ah! I love that.
I think we just came up with a new business idea. But I mean,
Failure squad, woohoo!
but I think
We can be the head cheerleaders.
okay, I'll be in my tutu. But
Perfect.
uh, well, what I meant is a little bit like celebrating failure and spotting, like pinpointing what I learned from it and what not to do the next time. What I know that I'm weak at, and acknowledge that I'm not good at this. I'm gonna get better, and I'll beat that. So I think all that that works too. So.
But there is gold. There's gold and there's lessons in everything if you choose to find them. And we get so focused on on staring at, you know, the thing that we burnt, that we don't go, okay, so next time, how about if I turn the temperature down or I cook it for less amount of time? Let's try that.
Oh,
But we stare at the burnt thing and go, oh my God, I can't cook. I can't do it. I just can't do it ever. Rather than going, like, what is the lesson here for me? That's where you're in that space of like gold and you know, like inspired insights to yourself.
it is. And I think the best teacher is always whoever's in there. And yeah, but anyway, so now
I actually think that maybe you're a little bit high. I think the best teacher is the one that's in here, heart,
the heart.
in your heart. Your head can lie to you, Arthur. It can lie to you. My head has lied to me. My head has told me I can't do this, I can't do that, you can't speak to them, they're too cool, you're too daggy, you can't. I ask my heart, what's the truth? My heart says, Anita, like, go for it. You're worthy. Why wouldn't you be worthy?
Just like it's interesting because I think you mentioned about like draw back to the basic of who you are, and I think when I draw back to my basics is I'm a storyteller. I tell story and help telling stories. So
Yes.
it's amazing because I never thought that I would be like I mean who would apply for a degree of a storyteller? That's a little bit like
But that is like, there used to be jobs that were people that were storytellers, so that history could be passed down and lessons could be passed down, all that kind of amazing stuff. And storytelling is such an important thing. So yes, remembering the simple why, like, what is my purpose, what's my why.
Thank you so much, Anita, for taking part in this Get Chatty about your local businesses series. And do you mind if someone's looking for some help with the coaching or the confidence help and such as, how are they going to find you?
Sure. So they can contact me at anitavanruyan.com. I'm sure you'll put a link somewhere. And on Instagram and Facebook and all those social media kind of channels, all the jazz, because you've got to be everywhere, right? And the other place is I created a couple of online courses specifically for people who are struggling with stuff around COVID. Mental well-being stuff. I don't even like to use that word because mental everything. On a website called social-wellbeing.com, and there may or may not be daggy dancing at the end of every 15-minute lesson. There totally is. There is, because dancing just helps with everything, right? So there's a bunch of different ways that people can connect.